All right, what is up, YouTube? We are back. Gonna do a little gym tour update. So I got some new people on here, and I did a gym tour about maybe over 6 months ago, I'd say. And we got a bunch of new pieces since then. So I'm basically just gonna run through the whole gym again and basically give you all the rundown of how we acquired the piece, how much it was, and stuff like that, where it came from. And yeah, but gonna do. So basically how everything started was it started in the garage. You know, I've been training since I was 10. We've always had a gym in our garage, and then basically we just kind of slowly built it up over time. And this is what you're seeing today. So this did not happen overnight. It took over 10 years to get to this point, basically of just finding pieces off marketplace. And then once I got old enough to actually get a job and start contributing into the gym and buying more pieces, it's kind of led to this. You know, we kind of split things either 2 ways or 3 ways, and then so I'm personally not taking all the costs, and the other person isn't. Basically, it's split between me, my dad, and my brother. So we kind of have an even split through there. But when we buy pieces, we basically split it up in 3 ways or 2 ways. But yeah, so like I was saying, I'll give you all a rundown of how we acquired it, how I found it, and kind of the backstory on the piece, and why I bought it. And but yeah, I'm gonna run y'all through it. All right, so we got the Cybex Smith. Picked this up in, I think, February. Got it off Facebook Marketplace. Basically everything in here is off Facebook Marketplace. So if you're looking for gym equipment, in my opinion, that's the best place to go. That's where you'll find the best deals instead of buying it through like an actual like company that actually sells like used gym equipment. Typically they'll mark shit up really high. Versus if you wait it out, really search and dig and spend a lot of time on there, usually you can find someone that has like a rare piece in the garage. That's basically how that's how I acquired this. This was actually in someone's garage. If you know anything about Smith machines, like you're really into gym equipment, the Cybex Smith, especially the old school one, it's pretty hard to come by. And if you do come by it, it's pretty expensive. So we paid $1,500 for this piece, which is actually a really good price for this Smith. I've seen them as high as $3,000 and as low as $1,000. So we're right in the middle there. Yeah, man. Like I said, I found this off Marketplace. The guy had it in his garage, super clean. Just some, minor stuff. It is a really old Smith. That's the crazy thing about the gym equipment market right now is actually all the older pieces and the rare stuff is very expensive, very hard to come by, and it holds its value really well. So God forbid anything ever happens, this stuff is an easy sell. You can turn it around really quick versus buying garbage equipment, which is really hard to turn around. And I think that's where gyms make a lot of mistake, is taking a huge loan out and buying shitty equipment, or just taking too much money out, going into too much debt, and putting themselves too far behind to where they're not going to have enough members to actually catch up. Where our gym isn't in debt or anything like that. So basically, like I said, all this stuff is paid for by cash when we first how we got everything. Yeah, man, that's basically it on this Smith. It's solid. We got it bolted down, solid as fuck. So if you're if you're in the area, man, and your gym has a shitty Smith and you just want to use the Smith, I mean, fucking come here and train. But like I said, if you never used the Cybex Smith, and if you've ever used the Cybex Smith, then you know what I'm talking about. This is still is the best Smith machines, even compared to the newer ones. Okay, now the Cybex. You're gonna see a theme in here. I like Cybex, my favorite brand. I think it's the best brand, especially the old school line, and the newer school line is pretty similar to it. There's a few different things. Like this leg press is the newer model versus like the old one. I've used both, and the old one is actually, I think, a little bit heavier than this one, but I think this one actually moves a little bit better. But like I said, there's just small differences. They're basically identical versus the old school one just being slightly heavier, I think. But yeah, just picked this up last week, so I found this off Marketplace. I got really lucky. So basically, I'm gonna run y'all through how this deal went down. So when they first listed it, it was listed for $1,000, and I, asked if I would said I would take it for 1,000. They said they had an offer for 15, so I threw an offer for 2,000 at them, and they said they didn't say anything after that, and then actually they updated the post and marked it up to 3K, which I was like, fuck it, I gotta have it, because if you know anything, like I said, if you know anything about gym equipment, this is probably one of the hardest pieces to come by in the like leg category. Yeah, they upped it to 3K. I still said I'll take it, and then basically kind of going back and forth and like, you sure you're gonna come get it? I was like, yes, I'll have someone there to come pick it up. Luckily, my dad was able to go grab it, put it in they just loaded that shit up in the forklift, so really easy. Yeah, man, got really lucky on this one. This is the best leg press in my opinion, or it's a squat press, so little variation between like 35 and 45 degrees. This is like more of a squat press, or it is a squat press. So it just moves a little bit different, and it actually feels pretty identical to a squat, why it's called a squat press. But the reason I like this press is just because you can get super deep on it, and the starting weight is actually decently heavy. And like I said, man, you can get super deep. It doesn't really bother the knees or the hips or anything like that. And it's fucking, it's really stout. So it's not like a piece of shit, flimsy leg presses. I've used shitty ones in the past, or ones you can't get deep. But like I said, I really like this piece. The one downside to this leg press is the seat is not adjustable. I know there's some newer companies that are making like the replicas of it with the adjustable seat. I've never used the replica. I couldn't tell you if it was good or not, but I know the Cybex one is solid, and they don't make this line anymore, so that's really the main reason why it's hard to come by, is they do not make this one. It's like I was saying, this is the newest model, like I said, they don't make it no more. Versus you'll see the other model is the old school one. It's a little bit different, but it's basically the same style. Another good thing about this leg press is the weight horn's super long, so you can stack plates on it. But if you do it right and take this thing all the way deep, like it's able to do, you probably won't stack it out unless you're doing quarter reps. I ran it for the first time yesterday, and man, my legs are fucked today. But yeah, like I say, you get super deep, really sink it in the hole. I mean, all in all, I think it's one of the best leg presses. As you can see, I'm a really big fan of leg pieces. In my opinion, you really need good leg stuff, because people don't like to squat, or that's really basically all you can do with like your leg training. If you don't have like good equipment, you basically only squat, lunges. I mean, you can make some stuff up, but it's gonna be really hard to get the load that you're trying to get with just like free weights and stuff. But like I said, you can just squat and that'll work perfectly fine. But since we have this space now and I like leg pieces, you'll see a theme. We are stacked with leg equipment. So that's basically what we pride ourselves in. We have some of the best leg pieces, and this is another piece that is one of the best. I've used a few different pendulum squats, and this is still the best one by far. So this is the Atlantis pendulum. Again, picked this up off Marketplace about 2 months ago. Actually, they delivered it to us. We bought this from another gym out in Fort Worth, which I really like to go to as well. Yeah, man, I think we paid it was $4,000 for this. So same thing here, man. If you know anything about Atlantis or like stuff like this, it's really hard to come by. Brand new, these are $7,000, and there's a super long lead time. So finding one on the used market is very difficult. And when I found this one, I just jumped on it again, and luckily they delivered it to us, so we didn't have to do anything. Yeah, this thing is fucking solid. Bolted it to the ground. Probably that's the worst thing about pendulum squats, especially like this model. If you don't bolt it to the ground, it can be very wobbly, but I went ahead and bolted it to the ground. So, I mean, the only thing that moves is the arm, which you can't really do anything about that on pendulum squats because the arm is so long. The arm is gonna move a little bit, but other than that, the fucking base is solid. Again, you get super deep here, and it's just great. It's a great all-around quad exercise. That's basically why we got this machine. You can really blast your quads on it, and people love this piece. I think the only other piece that we picked up since the last gym tour video I did, the Atlantis pec deck. So we've been using like an old school, I think it's a Pro Maxima pec deck. The arms don't adjust, they basically just set back there. Versus this one, I got adjustable arms now, so you can adjust it, and it's really good for rear delts. Yeah, man, picked this up about a month ago. We bought it from the same person that we bought the pendulum squat from. We paid $1,900 for it, and like I said, it's a really solid piece, 300-pound stack. It's a great machine. It's belt driven versus like a cable, so it's a little bit smoother. And it's Atlantis. Atlantis makes pretty good shit, man. It's heavy, it's solid. The only thing I don't like about it is it uses a gas shock for the seat, which is kind of annoying. I don't know why like companies do that, why they just don't stick with the stuff that works. Like a lot of Hammer Strength, I don't like their seats. The seats are kind of fucked, how you adjust them, and they always fall down when you get out of it or shit like that. But that's really the only complaint about this thing so far. It's a great machine, man, super smooth. Like I said, it's really good for rear delts. That's basically all I really gotta say on this. Like I said, I paid $1,900 for it. I mean, but yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Just a little update there. Those are the 3 pieces I don't think I've done a video on. Actually, I think I did a video on the pendulum squat, but whatever, I'll throw it in there anyways. But yeah, that's kind of the latest update. So like I said, man, May 3rd, Saturday, make sure you come check us out. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free. It's open gym. We're gonna be in here. I'm gonna be training legs, so if you're interested and you want to come train with me, I'll let you jump in. We can all train together, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Anyone, if you're small, big, whatever, I don't care. If you're just starting out, your first time newbie, 1 year in, like I said, I don't care. I'll help you. Also, if you're interested, I'll put you through a session. If you were to train back and you want to train back and you want my help, I'll do that for free too. I don't care. Like I said, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be helping people. If you want me to put you through a session, you know, I've been doing this for over 10 years now, so I got a pretty good amount of training experience and stuff like that. So like I said, man, everything's free. Just come check us out. It's gonna be fun, loud music, and yeah, everybody's gonna be training hard. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subs. We're getting close. I think I'm at the time of this video, I'm at 269, something like that. But trying to keep these pumping out, at least 1 video a week right now, so I really don't water down the content and stuff like that. But yeah, that's gonna do it.